All right. Now, I have been communicating with this guy, Anthony, for a while now. As you know, we've been talking about it on the past 2 podcasts.
Yep.
We wanted to dedicate a whole show to it, but he was kind of in and out of doing that. Anthony, you there?
I'm here.
All right. So, Anthony, listen, man. First of all, I really appreciate you calling in. We've been trying to work this out, get this situated for a while. And, man, I just now, I know this will be weird for some people. And before we get into this conversation, I know there's going to be people saying, "Oh, this is a joke. This is not real. This is, blah, 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 blah." But let me just say this before we get into this conversation with Anthony here, is this guy does this for, well, it's pretty much part-time, right, Anthony?
Yeah, it's not it's not a full-time thing. It's just a little side thing I started. It's been passed down through my family through generations, so grew up with it.
So before people pass judgment and
they don't even know we don't know what we're talking about.
That's what I'm getting into.
Let him just explain what he does.
Okay, well, I just want to say that first before all the backlash.
Right. So Anthony, just explain to people what you actually do and how long you've been doing it and that kind of stuff. This is Freddie, by the way.
Okay.
And we have John here with us from Sundance Marine as well. Go on, Anthony.
I'm 29 years old, so I've been doing this since I can really remember with my pa. I'm from North Carolina, so that's where this takes place. Basically, what we're talking about here is what the public would call a mermaid. We catch mermaids. So let me tell you a little bit about them. First of all, they're not. If you've seen Jurassic Park, you've seen the raptors in the movie, right? They're 6-7 feet tall.
Yeah, like Velociraptor.
It's similar to that. They're not. They're not that big. They're 2 feet tall, just you know what I mean, and they're just exaggerated. It's the same thing with Hollywood, the mermaids. They're not life-size people. They're a humanoid fish. They get about 2 feet max, so they're small. Now you can only catch these things at night. They're smart. They're super smart.
What do they eat?
They have a vicious bite.
What is the bait that you guys use?
We use raw red meats and fish. So what I like to do is I go out to the local, food line or buy low, and I get ground meat, lean ground meat, and I roll it into balls, and I use a big treble hook. And we're mainly out there to catch the females because they're worth more when they have eggs, especially when they're pregnant. They're great caviar.
And Anthony, Anthony, real quick, you were telling me that the caviar from these female mermaids' eggs are sold throughout the country, and people actually don't know. They pay a high price, but when they're paying a higher dollar price for this type of caviar, even though it's not listed, it's basically almost coming from you, correct? From those.
Correct. It's marketed as Russian caviar or Norwegian, which it sells for more, I guess, but it's not coming from Norway or Russia. It's what you would call mermaid eggs.
So your family has been in the business of supplying like fish shops with mermaid eggs
and meat, correct?
And they're selling them as Russian caviar. So how long?
If you look online, you can find thousands of dollar cans, little cans of caviar, and it's marketed as from unique Russia waters or what? It's bullshit. It's North Carolina mermaid eggs.
Yeah, that's
as you guys would call them.
It would totally be bullshit if they were Russian.
So how many mermaids would you say you've caught in your lifetime? How many mermaids have you killed?
Personally, oh man, I used to do it more when I had more free time as a kid, but hundreds.
So it's so basically it's like going out commercial kingfishing. You just got, how many do you get in a night, or how many do you catch in a night, like 6 or 8, or?
It varies. It varies in how active. Spawning season is late spring, so just passed. And that's the best time of the year to go.
So how many were you
super
catching?
active? There's tons of them in the water. It just varies. 10's a good night. In the spring you can get up to 25. But you'll always usually catch at least one. You know, there's always one, and there's different spots. Now they're freshwater, they're more freshwater. I guess they're brackish because these are like there's a couple spots, and some of these spots are mostly freshish, a little bit of maybe brackish, and then some of them are fully freshwater. So I've never caught one in any ocean sort of setting.
Right. So that's what I was gonna ask. Like the old stories of like sailors seeing them all over the place.
Fake,
that's
dude.
bullshit, right?
It's bullshit.
Because like if they're freshwater, like you're definitely not like there's no pirates running around like in the 1400s like scoping.
Now, Anthony, are they spawning in the brackish water? Is that like what's going on there, or is it they're spawning in the fresh and they're living in the brackish?
Like a salmon?
Sort of. Yeah.
They swim upstream to go have babies or no?
They're what they're doing is the lakes I go to, they're freshwater only. I never go to any lakes that are brackish during spawning season during late springs because the family has always just done the freshwater thing. And, you know, in late spring, that's just the biggest harvest. That's what we get the most.
Think about it like this though, like for someone that's like calling bullshit, isn't it interesting though that he's talking about like freshwater?
Yeah.
Like how would you even? You know what I mean? Like that's
when you say mermaid, you think ocean.
You think ocean. You think pirates. You think this beautiful hot chick. Now, and this is what I want to really get into, Anthony, with you because you were telling me when we were talking before you called that you had a night where it was like a big female you had, and she like lost it at the feed and she bit. What was it? Your stepfather or something, and just went apeshit. And how dangerous these things can actually be.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have. If you've ever seen like their teeth are like staggered. They're not like sharp teeth. They're kind of dull and blunt, but they have super strong jaws. So when they bite down, they can rip out flesh. Almost kind of like a sheep's head, but they're not like the human teeth. Like sheep's head have those little human teeth.
Yeah,
these are more like
sharp.
They're more like blocks that crush and tear.
And they hiss, you said, right?
Yeah, they like. I mean, I think that's where the spraying water thing comes from. But they like hiss at you when you pull them out. It sounds like there's water being sprayed, but they're not. They're just hissing, and they whiff you with their tails.
So they have full-on arms.
Yeah, Anthony.
No, they don't have arms.
Okay. Yeah, explain what what these look like, because you were telling me they're more of like a creature.
Okay. They're like a humanoid. Like they have like almost looks like ears, but they're gills behind the back of their head, and they have like the eyelids that close over, but they can open them underwater so they can see kind of like alligators. And they have like a human-shaped face. It's not a nose, almost like the bottom of a stingray.
Like an avatar face.
You know, the bottom of
sort of.
Exactly, like how they look like they're smiling.
What do you think they're smiling, or do you just think that's what they look like?
And they change, and the way that they're like gray up on top, and then they go green towards the bottom, towards their tail. So it's like almost how you see mermaids in the, you know, how they're wearing like a green dress or whatever, how they look like they're green and they're human up top. That's what they kind of look like. They have a green face and they go up and they become like gray towards the top.
But you've never seen one with a dress? Like a fish.
No, they don't wear.
So Anthony, let me ask you this.
I mean, I had to ask.
I know. You know. Let me ask you this though. Do you think that these creatures are intelligent, or are they just dumb like a fish?
They are. I would compare them to like crows, maybe, or rats. They're super clever. Like if one gets caught, they know to stay out of that area. You know, you're not going to catch. When I say you're going to catch 25 in a night, that's all night. Like you're not going to catch them all. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to have to keep going. You know, they move around. They're smart, but they can't resist that meat. You know, they attack the meat. And so if they get it, you get them.
How did you figure out to use beef? Because it's not like they can eat beef, you know, in freshwater. You know what I mean? Like you would assume.
No, I hear you. That's just been the thing for generations. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know how they figured out it was. Like they've used turkey and other things work, but just beef is just beef.
That makes sense. I mean, you catch crabs with chicken, you know. I guess that makes sense. Like people just try whatever they have, I guess, to catch baby mermaids.
So when did you guys decide that they were mermaids instead of just like a new different species of fish?
I mean, again, I don't call them mermaids. You guys call them mermaids. The public calls them mermaids. You know, lore calls them mermaids. But
so what do you
this
guys
is
call them?
what the mermaid myth is stemming from.
Okay,
I mean,
so what you're saying,
you've seen a mermaid, this is the closest thing to it.
So what you're saying is like you guys catch this fish that has historically been mistaken as a mermaid.
That's, I mean, yes.
Okay, I got you.
We've never seen a mermaid in this. If you saw this fish,
you'd be like, "Oh, that's a mermaid."
You would say, "Okay."
Is there any way we can go and
exactly,
see one?
I get it.
But so what's your Instagram? Like, do you like blur the background on the photos?
I don't post pictures. It's like I said, it's a side thing, and I don't want it's a family tradition, and I don't want to, be the millennial asshole who ruins the whole.
Let me ask you this, Anthony. Is there any way? Now I know you shot me down on the phone fast when I had this conversation with you, but is there any way that maybe in a future episode we could edit in like maybe some photos that you could doctor it or whatever a little bit to blur stuff out, but maybe we can work on something so that it'll help us, to our public kind of explain about these creatures, these mermaids.
Yeah, I mean, I really have to. That's really not my call. I'd have to speak to the family, and depends. I don't know too much about you guys' show and how big you guys are, but I just I can't have a whole bunch of news agencies and crazy people coming out and trying to find my my lakes and my spots.
Right, you don't want to blow up the spot. You don't want to blow up the spot for sure. You definitely You definitely have to like blur the background.
Yeah. Now I will say, so Fred is like the biggest devil's advocate. Like I tell him the sky is blue, he says it's purple. And
that's not what devil's advocate means.
I don't know.
Just so you know.
But what I'm trying touche. What I'm trying to say is like
he means that I'm
this is the first time I've ever seen Fred like very perplexed.
Oh yeah, I'm so.
What are you thinking right now? Honestly.
No, I think you maybe like didn't explain what he does, or like you said, we have a guy coming on who catches mermaids, but he's actually not claiming that. He's saying that he's catching a fish that.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid. It's not a fish. You have to.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere.
If you saw it, you would say that's not a fish. It's definitely not a person, first of all. But it's not just a fish. There's some kind of, maybe it's a DNA thing, a splice. I don't know. Maybe it's a scientific thing. Who knows? But if
Let me ask,
saw it,
do you live near a nuclear?
Is this fish a humanoid?
Yeah, I would say the humanoid, like hybrid.
Okay,
mix.
well, there you have it.
It's a mermaid. It's a fucking mermaid.
You did not misrepresent.
It looks like a human face.
All right, so now do you know this?
What do they smell like?
Oh yeah, what are they?
Do they smell like fish?
Fish smell. They smell like fish. They smell just like fish. You touch your hands and it's the same smell as fish.
So they have a slime coat.
But they're like muscular, like beefy.
Do you know anybody who?
Strong.
Because you guys catch mostly the females, do you know? Have any of your buddies? I don't know if you guys take people fishing, but I'm surely out of someone in North Carolina, someone's tried to fuck one of those things, right?
I actually have a guest that just showed up. Can I call you guys back?
Yeah, that's no problem. Hey, listen, Anthony, that's all we need. Listen, man, I really appreciate you, calling in the show. I know this was really hard for me to get you on. And again, I really appreciate it. And like I said, if there's anything we could do in the future, Anthony, we want to figure something out.
Like I want to go fly there and fucking catch them.
Yeah, we want to figure something out here. 100%. There's got to be a way to get this out there
without blowing up your spot. Like we don't want to ruin the business where you guys are selling Russian caviar to the
idiots
international markets.
He's gone.
Wow.
God
that didn't last long.
As soon as I asked him,
you know why? Because he was really like when you start making fun of him, he really gets pissed.
I didn't make fun of him. I asked him.
I'm just saying
he was pretty nice about it.
I was like extremely nice about it.
I know, but
I asked him if
I think
anyone.
The dress thing might have.
He could sense some of us calling his bullshit.
That guy, for sure, is either like a pathological crazy person. How do
There's real mermaids.
There are no fucking.
I am sold on this.
He had me on Freshwater. He lost me at Freshwater.
Yeah, he started train went way off the tracks
Mark Twain
That
never
seems
wrote.
odd too, though. Isn't that kind of like to make that up? The freshwater thing that would be too. Like, it's easy to make up something saying, "Oh, they're in salt water," and just like what everyone.
No shit, they're in salt water. No one's ever claimed to have seen a mermaid in freshwater ever in the history.
That's what makes this
dumb,
weird to me.
No, not weird, ridiculous.
And
that they're 2 feet long.
Yeah,
and
they don't have arms.
And
that they have blocky teeth that
chomp, but also
and you have to snag them with a treble hook full of meatballs. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That was amazing. We have to figure out a way.
We should just go fishing with him.
Like, listen, dude.
To meet this guy.
You know how many people fish in North Carolina lakes? Fucking everyone.
Yeah.
So why don't we get someone else on? Do you talk to people from North Carolina lakes?
If you're out there in North Carolina, if you're out there in North Carolina, if you've ever accidentally caught a thing that has blocky, chunky teeth,
no arms,
smells like fish,
humanoid head.
Oh, we should ask if they have boobs.
Looks like it's wearing a dress.
It's a woman then.
Looks like it's wearing a dress.
That would have been the perfect question.
Ask him that, man.
Oh, that would have been the perfect
Damn it, Fred.
question.
Freaking dress thing scared him off. Damn it. That would have been a perfect question because I don't know. How do you know it's male and female?
Obviously, one has shells over its tits. Duh. The males don't have shells over their tits, bro. The fuck.
Oh my god.
I can't even believe you. Dude.
This was hard for me. I couldn't get him on the show. He was like being like this.
He's so serious though.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I was trying to tell you.
He didn't sound like he was bullshitting.
Half the logical liars are serious when they're lying, though.
That's what I mean.
This isn't a joke. Like this guy legitimately either believes.
I think he just believes it.
What he catches is. I mean, he says that he is one of the lead suppliers of caviar across the country, and if you're buying, what was it he said?
$1,000 can of caviar.
Yeah, but how is that possible if he's only catching 10 in a night?
Well, I'm sure it's...
That's why it's $1,000, bro. Of course.
I'm sure it's like a delicacy, or... We should buy a can of that, though, somehow. Or get a can
DNA tested it, and it's
do
gonna
something.
Be like fucking
yes.
puffer fish from Japan is what it is. It's like the eggs of a regular old salmon.
There's got to be a way.
I don't know, dude. That was some bullshit.
You don't believe anything.
No, dude.
I could tell that you believe some of it. I was looking at your face, and I've never seen your face.
With the fresh water, he was
what happened was, like, I thought you were saying mermaid, 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 but then I clarified. I was like, it sounded like he wasn't claiming that he was catching mermaids. It sounded like he was claiming that he was just catching this weird fish, that if you saw it, you would be like, oh, well, that's where the story of mermaids come from. You know?
Yeah, I was right there with you
on
that
I thought that he wasn't claiming that. I thought you set him up for a fucking failure. Because what I thought was, like, he wasn't claiming that. I thought he was saying, like, yeah, dude, this is this weird thing that we catch, and if you ever saw it, like, you would think this is the actual creature that the story of mermaids comes from. That's what I thought he was saying. But then he took it a step further and said, no, this is a humanoid hybrid fish.
You asked him if it was a mermaid. He
said,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's how I got the guess.
That's where he fucking lost me. Yeah. When he said it was
listen, you guys, we want to know what you guys think. We want you to leave comments below. We want, I mean, if you think it's bullshit, comment it's bullshit. If you think it's real like me, I'd love to hear what you guys think. I personally think there's something about him that I believe. I just believe it. There is stuff out there that we cannot explain in the oceans and lakes. Can we agree to that?
100%.
For sure, but no one's fucking snagging him with beef balls.
How do you know, though?
Catching it with beef balls and trying to hide it.
Yeah, bro. You're not.
We missed the whole male-female thing.
Yeah. It's a big thing. It's a big ocean. But a lake in North Carolina, dude, 150 rednecks a day fishing that same shit. There's at least one.
We should have asked him what lake, too.
Yeah. Look, if anyone is fishing those lakes with live bait.
What's the biggest lake there, you think?
North Carolina?
Google it.
Hey, Siri, what's the biggest lake in North Carolina? Let's just see.
Okay, I found this on the web for what's the biggest lake in North Carolina.
Does she have a British accent?
Yep.
Of course she does, bro.
Wow.
Mine's got an Australian accent.
Damn.
Lake Coeur, North Carolina.
Accent, man. Get with the program.
Jesus. Lake Coeur.
Lake Coeur.
Doesn't say anything about mermaids, oddly.
Well, duh, no shit.
Yeah, it's Lake Coeur. It's 3,364,500 acre feet.
If there's going to be a mermaid...
Whoa, there you go. See?
What are acre feet?
It's an acre feet, dude. It's not 3 million acres.
Oh.
I don't know what an acre.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounds like if there was a freshwater mermaid, it'd be hiding there.
Exactly.
I mean,
now we're perplexed again.
No, we're not. We are not.
If there's a lake,
there are two people here who are not perplexed at all.
If there's a lake that deep, if there's a lake
if
there's a lake that's that deep,
wait, that's not a 3 million foot deep lake.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
God dang. Your fish finder knows.
What did we learn?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We already knew there were crazy people. We already knew there were crazy people in this world. Yeah, that does look sketchy.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
They have assured me that it's been that way for years. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just...
Big ass crack in the roof.
Oh, man, I wish we had him on longer. Man. I
told you he's
sketchy. That's what I was saying. I was trying to... That's why I did that whole explanation in the beginning, because...
Will he answer you if you text him?
He is, like, very serious. Like,
I'll try...
Well, it's too late now. The show's almost over, but... We got to get him back, and we have to. I don't know if maybe I can pay him to not to like pay him for a couple photos that maybe they don't have to be right on it. I don't know. I believe this guy. I am a believer.
Oh God, I have.
Did you read the back of our Kayak Fishing RAW T-shirts?
No. What does it say?
Believe.
It should just say gullible dummy. Because that's what you're being right now.
I
mean, but the guy was for sure serious.
He seemed legit. He thought he was legit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was convincing.
Do you think that he's catching creatures of some sort?
No.
I don't think he's catching very much on treble hooks and meatballs.
No, not at all.
Maybe a catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a type of catfish.
Maybe it is.
Probably.
Maybe it is.
I mean, maybe he's catching
2 feet long, greenback
species of catfish that people can't explain. Again, leave your comments below. We want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, we do.
I think it's real.
I for sure want to know what you think.
I definitely want to know how much.
Just be warned, I will flame you if you believe the North Carolina guy. There will be comments that will make that will make you call the bullying police. I will bully. I will cyber bully anyone who believes that.
I'm telling you right now. We need to get guys from North Carolina and talk with them.
Okay.
100%.
If we can get maybe a guy from North Carolina on the show, and then if I can get Anthony
a
fishing guide.
Get a fishing guide from North Carolina.
A charter guide.
Lake Coeur fishing
backwoods
Find out what's the deepest lake, how big these lakes are. Is there a chance where these things maybe could hide in this kind of environment?
Maybe it's like a private lake on his family's
house.
Property.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I mean, what would you say if we had a guide on, right? Fishing guide? Excuse me. And we start talking about this, and he starts clamming up like him and says, I got to go. I can't talk about this.
That'd be a little more believable.
A little more.
Little.
Let me ask you, did it not sound like he was a little scared in the end?
No.
Like giving this information up?
It sounded like
it sounded weird.
He sounded like he knew that we knew that we were calling him out on his...
Yeah, he gets pissed at... Like, when I had that conversation, he got all weird.
It's like we weren't blatantly, like, making fun of it, but he could tell we were doing it sarcastically.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is fine.
Well,
I should have just called him a crazy person. I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure...
It's your turn to get the next crazy guess.
It is 2018, and there should be a photo of this fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, there's photos of Bigfoot.
You didn't ask him if he had one. He didn't say he didn't have one.
He said he doesn't
post
them.
He doesn't post them. He didn't say he didn't have them.
Well, what's the difference? Pics or it didn't happen. You know.
What did he say again with the whole Instagram thing? He made a comment.
He doesn't want to be the millennial that...
he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be the millennial that ruins the family business.
Yeah, I got you.
Like, it's been such a secret for so long that they're
Speaking of millennials,
no one else in the world knows.
Speaking of millennials, real quick, off topic. So, on Fox News, I recently saw a program. I just want to see what you think, John, before we let you go. I know this has been a crazy show for you.
It's been great.
I hope that we see you again. But, okay, so Fred knows about this. There is a woman claiming that, and she's going to really try to make this law that, do you have a child?
I do not.
Okay. That if you have a child, you need to get their permission to change their diaper.
Like if you're going to be touching
or else it would be assault. Child abuse.
Isn't that unsanitary?
To get permission?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you want your baby rolling around in shit? Because I wouldn't.
No. I saw this the other day, and I just could not believe what I was watching.
Maybe you should get her, that guy's number.
Yeah, and
those two crazies could link up and have some crazy kids.
That would be pretty unbelievable. That'd be cool. Huh? What do you think, Fred?
Dude, I'm gonna find
Fred's going to be on this now. He's going to be on a rampage tonight, Googling, researching, looking up everything he can to debunk this. And you know what? He's probably going to find something. And then you're going to keep it private. You Robert Mueller, you.
God dog it. You got me. No, what I'm going to do is try to find a crazier person. Because I have zero
you're
interest.
up. Jay and I would do this. We would see who would get the crazier person.
Yeah, this is not a true thing. This doesn't work.
Again, Anthony, I'm sorry. I'm not calling you crazy. We really want you back on the show. Please don't give us a thumb down.
I'm calling him crazy.
He's mad.
Look, yeah, mad in the mad scientist.
He was born mad. He's just angry now.
Yeah, he was pretty serious guy.
I can't with this shit, dude.
So what's going to be your next guest?
I'm going to find something crazier, dude.
Crazier.
You're not going to find it.
He found a guy that like kills.
I found some crazy stuff.
He found a guy
from Transylvania.
Yeah.
That said
that the mermaids kill the
again.
Russian
This could
spies.
be the same species.
No, that was saltwater, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
it was saltwater,
different species. Fresh. Did those ones have arms?
Yeah.
Yes, they would literally grab these guys. They would be on their kayaks, like going through these areas in Transylvania, and these things would come up and grab them and eat them. They disappear, and it's
Russians.
a thing. It's a real
killing Russians
thing,
right over there.
And then we had Jay with the pterodactyl eggs, saying that there is real life pterodactyls.
Well.
So I'm
gonna find.
I'd love to see what you got.
I'll find someone.
With Instagram and Facebook, you can find anyone you want.
I'm gonna find someone, dude.
For sure. You gotta come with someone.
But you gotta surprise me.
This guy the other day, he sends me this video. He's like, "Bro, what the?" He's like, "Look at this UFO." Sends me a video. Look at this UFO.
Everybody thought it was a UFO.
2 seconds. I sent him back an article. It's like the fucking rover SpaceX thing that launched the other day. He's like, "Dude, I told you they're real." Douchebag. Like,
God damn it.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
He was so pumped.
It was at like 4 a.m, and I'm like, oh my God, what's
He's like,
this?
Dude, I'm sitting in my truck right now. What is this thing? Why is it
I'm filming it.
Why is it going below the trees?
Oh my God.
Why is it going below the trees? God dog it, bro.
Hey, it wasn't
a good try, though.
It wasn't a plane, so
it totally made his day. So.
I almost had it. I mean, and it was on the news, by the way. So a lot of people,
it was on the news.
Well, a lot of people thought it was a UFO. I am gonna find a UFO.
I mean, it was a UFO. Just a UFO.
Basically, it was a UFO. See, John's correct.
Yeah, but the guy who was flying it knew what it was.
Yeah.
And he wasn't from.
He wasn't from anywhere, but
I don't think anyone was flying it.
He may have been from North Carolina.
Could have been. Yes.
I gotta find out what's up with those lakes.
All right. Well, listen, guys, we love you. We're gonna do a lot of research, and you can find John here at
Sundance Marine, Pompano.
Awesome. And then
ask him what his Instagram is.
Yeah, what is your Instagram?
You guys give us a shout out.
He has to look it up.
At CAPTJ.
I had trouble with this.
He had to redo a handful of
J.
CAPT Cap J letter J dot F as in Frank,
Jesus.
O as in Oscar, L as in Lima, Z as in zero. We had to go through this about 10 times before the show started.
You got that?
All right. J.Foles.
And then you can find Freddie at Pedal Pirate. I actually just opened my personal Instagram, so you can find me at joe.hector.kayak.
A lot of dots.
A lot of dots there.
A lot of rhythm in there.
And then, of course, guys, find us at Extreme Kayak Fishing. You can go to extremekayakfishing.com. You can listen to these podcasts, Kayak Fishing RAW, at Kayak Fishing RAW, hashtag Kayak Fishing RAW. We'll see you guys soon.
Later, skaters.